On this episode of Weather Watch, we take an inside look of Pennsylvania's Department of Transportation and see how they prepare for inclement weather. Then, we continue our countdown towards our #1 severe weather outbreak in the Weather Watch Top 5. And finally, we check back in with the Mythbreakers to see which myth that they will deem broken. All this and more coming up on Weather Watch. Hello and welcome to Weather Watch, Millersville University's exclusive weather news program. I'm your host, Curtis Silverwood. Let's first start off by getting you caught up on the weather that made headlines around the world in the past few weeks. Here is your weather in 60 seconds. Heavy snow and flooding in the United Kingdom, severe heat in Australia, and large hailstorms across the South in this edition of the weather in 60 seconds. Let's cross the Atlantic and head into the United Kingdom, where the Northwest has been braced by blizzards marking the beginning of their spring season, with snow accumulating up to 15 inches, forcing more than 70 schools to shut down and putting more than 44,000 homes and businesses out of power. In the Southwest, the United Kingdom experienced severe flooding, all which led to delays in transportation countrywide. Moving on to Australia, who's been experiencing one of the hottest summers since the summer of 1997 to 1998. Some locations experienced extreme heat over 104 degrees Fahrenheit, along with catastrophic bushfires. Working our way back to the homeland, stretching across the South in parts of Mississippi, Georgia, and Alabama, a massive storm came through, packing high winds, rain, and large fist-sized hail across the region. Wind gusts were as high as 77 miles per hour, and thousands were left in the dark. 2 casualties were caused by the storm, and 8 were injured. And that will do it for this edition of the weather in 60 seconds. Every winter season, we see those huge yellow trucks salting the roads when a local weatherman tells us there's a snowstorm on its way. But have you ever thought about the preparation that goes into planning for a storm? Weather Watch had the opportunity to visit the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation headquarters in Harrisburg to find out more about the planning process.
Weather Watch is here in Harrisburg, PA, at the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, otherwise known as PennDot. We'll talk to the folks in charge here to find out how they keep the roads clear and make sure that you can get from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia just fine when Mother Nature has other plans. Let's face it, Pennsylvania's climate does not make road cleanup and repair an easy job. From harsh summer heat to massive winter snowstorms, Pennsylvania has it all, and the roads certainly show it.
Pennsylvania is very unique in that we definitely see a change in the 4 seasons. You know, we have everything from spring cleanup, summer operations, fall with the leaves and clearing the leaves from our drain systems and things like that, to our winter operations with snow and ice. We get a lot of potholes because of our freeze-thaw situation that pops some holes loose in our blacktop. The heat in the summertime we deal with. We have paving operations and stone chipping operations going on all summer long. We work regardless of what the temperatures are or what the factors are. We're out there taking care of the highways. And then again, in the wintertime, you know, we revert back and we take care of it, our routine operations in the winter.
And to prepare for Mother Nature's fury, PennDOT will often assemble days in advance of incoming storms in their state-of-the-art Incident Command Center. Here, PennDOT can monitor the storm, hold teleconferences with various state departments, and pick the brains of local meteorologists to ensure that the best plan of action is taken.
Just like football teams do, heading into a football game, we have a pre-storm WebEx. We hire various weather services to provide us weather forecasts in advance of the storm so we know what we're getting into. We go over Does every district and county have enough salt and materials to last through the storm? Is there any equipment down that we need to transfer equipment from one place to another? So during the storm, then, we get proactive. So we have protocols in place that if our trucks aren't going to be able to keep up with the storm, we will, the first thing we do is we'll implement something we call a 45 mile per hour speed limit reduction. We do that pretty much every time it snows now, to slow the motorists down and get the motorists off the highway if we could. Now, since we started tracking and implementing this procedure, it actually resulted in a 54% reduction in crashes. So our goal is to get people off the highway so the roads are more safe.
Keeping track of and managing Pennsylvania's nearly 40,000 miles of roadways is no easy task. However, the introduction of some very 1984-like technology has quickly given PennDOT the upper hand. And we're here in PennDOT's Traffic Management Center, where they use a system of over 80 cameras as their eyes in the sky to find out how traffic is going throughout the lower Susquehanna Valley.
The way we have our video wall set up is basically the district from west to east, kind of how it lays out on the map. When the weather's coming from west to east, you can see, a storm's coming in on your radar, and then you can, as the first few interchanges start getting snow flurries, you can see them in the cameras. We cover these areas on a 24/7, 365 basis. We have 81 CCTV cameras located along most of our interstates that we can watch traffic. We look for congestion, crashes, things like that. We get a lot of phone calls telling us about the crashes and stuff. We post messages on our dynamic message boards along the interstates and expressways to let traffic know what's going on, and also the information that we capture in our road condition reporting system is also used to feed 511 PA system.
PennDOT's battle against the elements takes some heavy-duty equipment. To keep roadways passable and safe, PennDOT utilizes a variety of materials from anti-skid and salt brines to something that most people are pretty familiar with. And usually in the Susquehanna Valley, winter weather means one thing when you think of PennDOT, and that's a whole lot of salt. And to help PennDOT do its heavy lifting, you've probably shared the road with a couple of these. These are the snow plows, and PennDOT has about 300 that they use across the Susquehanna Valley. And it's not just snow plows. PennDOT has a whole arsenal of heavy lifters to do everything from filling potholes to repairing bridges and overpasses. Together with expert planning, a keen eye on road conditions, and a dedicated staff working round the clock, Pennsylvania's roadways have a fighting chance against the harsh Pennsylvania climate. So hopefully now you have an appreciation for the amount of time, work, and effort that goes on behind the scenes in making sure that Pennsylvania's highways and byways stay safe. Reporting from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for Weather Watch, I'm student meteorologist Shane Brown.
Thanks, Shane. Continuing our countdown with Weather Watch's Pete Molinax, we'll see what famous severe weather outbreak made it to our number 3 spot on the list in this segment of the Weather Watch Top 5. Welcome back to our countdown of the top 5 severe weather outbreaks. We now move on to our number 3 severe weather outbreak of all time. What if I told you that this next outbreak wound up causing similar damage totals to the Moore, Oklahoma outbreak, but killed over twice as many people, and it all came due in part to just one tornado? This nightmarish tornado became a reality on May 22, 2011. At number 3 in our countdown is the Joplin, Missouri tornado. The Joplin, Missouri tornado ranks as the 7th deadliest tornado and the single costliest tornado in U.S. history. It is the first tornado since the Flint, Michigan tornado of 1953 to kill at least 100 people. The forecast from the Storm Prediction Center predicted this severe weather event roughly 48 hours in advance. On the day of the event, a tornado watch was issued at 1:35 p.m. Central Standard Time, over 4 hours before the tornado touched down. A tornado warning was then issued at 5:17 p.m. local time, allowing for 19 minutes of lead time before the tornado struck Joplin. The tornado touched down at 5:34 p.m. just west of Joplin, and then tracked through the town within a matter of minutes. The damage was unimaginable. The town's hospital was heavily damaged, forcing injured patients to be sent to other local hospitals. An estimated 25% of the town was destroyed. In addition to the estimated $2.3 billion in damage, 158 people were killed,
making the Joplin tornado one of the biggest weather disasters in not just Missouri's history, but in U.S. history. What happened in Joplin showed the devastation that can come from just one single tornado, and that is why the Joplin, Missouri tornado is number 3 on our countdown. Reporting for Weather Watch, I'm student meteorologist Peter Mullinax.
Thanks, Pete. We're going to take a quick break, so stay tuned. But in the meantime, why don't you test your brain with some weather trivia? Welcome back. A tornado, an intricate and complex swirling vortex, usually occurs in the spring and summer seasons. It is a very interesting occurrence in nature. In our segment, Weather 101, we'll see exactly how a tornado is formed.
Many of us have seen and been awed by the destruction and fury caused by some of nature's most powerful storms, tornadoes. But have you ever stopped to wonder just what exactly a tornado is and how it forms? Tornadoes are one of nature's most devastating storms and are spawned out of many severe thunderstorms. A tornado is defined as a violently rotating column of air that extends from the base of a thunderstorm to the ground and is often observed as a funnel cloud. For a tornado to develop, several conditions must be present in the atmosphere at the same time. These conditions include abundant low-level moisture, atmospheric instability, and a trigger such as a cold front or other low-level zone of converging winds that acts to lift moist air aloft. Just before the thunderstorm develops, a change in wind direction and an increase in wind speed at an increasing altitude creates an invisible horizontal spinning effect in the lower atmosphere. Rising air within a thunderstorm's updraft tilts the rotating air from horizontal to vertical. The funnel then descends and usually becomes a tornado within a few minutes of reaching the ground. This mature stage can last anywhere from a few minutes to more than an hour and is the most destructive phase of a tornado. During this time, an area of cool surface winds begins to wrap around the tornado, cutting off the supply of warm air that feeds it. This is the beginning stage of the dissipating phase. The tornado begins to weaken and become thin and rope-like, and after a few minutes, fizzles. Even though the tornado is dissipating, it is still capable of causing damage.
Tornadoes are classified on the Enhanced Fujita scale, and they range from EF0 to EF5. EF0 is the mildest of all tornadoes and is classified as a gale tornado, with winds from 65 to 85 miles per hour. Being the weakest, this type of tornado can cause minor structural damage and can uproot small trees and signs. EF3 tornadoes are moderate tornadoes and are the average tornadoes seen in Tornado Alley in the Midwest. This type is classified as severe and has winds from 138 to 167 miles per hour. EF5 tornadoes are the most severe types of tornadoes possible and are by far some of the most devastating storms capable in nature. EF5 tornadoes' winds range from 200 to 234 miles per hour and are categorized as an incredible tornado. Damage is so extensive that houses are torn from the ground, cars become missiles, and steel and concrete structures are badly damaged. These tornadoes are as severe as it gets and should be taken seriously. Usually nothing is left when a tornado like this strikes. Everything is demolished and devastated. Tornadoes are nothing to mess around with and can be very deadly. Understanding how they form and how they are classified can keep you ahead of the storm. That'll do it for this edition of Weather 101. Reporting for Weather Watch, this has been student meteorologist TJ Springer
And Megan Buzanovich.
Now that you know how a tornado forms and the severity of one, what would you do if you were caught up in a tornado's path? Our very own Mythbreakers are on the case, helping one group of friends figure out what to do in this severe weather event.
When the lines between weather fact and fiction are blurred, we call in the experts, the Mythbreakers.
Ugh, I hate that noise. Can you switch the station?
Yeah, seriously, why do they always have to interrupt a good song? There, that's much better.
It better not rain. It was so nice and sunny earlier, and now it just looks awful.
We'll be fine. They don't look that bad anyway. Play baseball?
No.
I don't think we're gonna play.
All right.
Do you want a cup of juice? I have some chips in here too if you want some.
Guys, there's a lot of clouds over there. Looks like it's about to start pouring any minute now.
She's right, I swear. I saw some lightning over there.
Whoa, really? I gotta film this. Dude, this is awesome.
No. We need to go right now.
Yeah, come on. If we get back to the car right now, we can outrun this thing, right?
Yeah, it sounds good to me. You can't be moving that quick, right?
Yeah, come on.
We're going. Let's go.
Let's go.
Whoa. Who the heck are you?
Think you can outrun a tornado?
Do you even know how fast a tornado can move?
Well, no.
Try up to 70 miles per hour.
But if that's not enough to convince you, tornadoes can quickly change speed and direction with little to no notice.
They can even spawn secondary tornadoes. With debris and strong winds in the area, your car will offer you little to no protection.
So what do you want us to do? Just get hit by it?
Of course not, but it doesn't look like there's much in the way of sturdy shelter around here.
Looks like we're stuck outside, but don't worry, we'll help you get out of this.
Alright, so what do we do?
You know, I did see some trees over there. They look like they could be tough enough to handle the wind.
Wrong.
Trees are easily toppled by tornadoes and can even become deadly projectiles.
Your best bet is actually but get as low as possible and cover your head. It'll help prevent from any flying debris from hitting you, the #1 cause of injury or death during a tornado.
So when there's a tornado coming and we're outside, you just want us to cover our heads? That doesn't seem very safe.
Believe it or not, it's your best bet. If shelter is not an option, by getting low on the ground and covering your head, you could really save your life when a tornado strikes. However, it could always help to be more proactive by listening to weather reports and alerts when you're out and about so you don't get caught off guard.
Oh, I wonder if that's the warning we missed earlier when we turned off the radio.
Yeah, maybe it was.
By planning ahead, you can make sure you're ahead of the storm and not the other way around.
But you can also keep your eyes peeled for telltale signs of an impending tornado.
Like persistent, low, rotating clouds,
Heavy rain or hail followed by immediate calm.
and a low roaring sound that doesn't fade away like thunder.
Knowing these can help you make the best decision in this situation like you're in right now. But for right now, it looks like the tornado just missed you.
Well, thanks, guys. All right, I think it's time to pack up and head home.
Yeah, next time we'll leave the radio on.
Think you can outrun a tornado?
Looks like that's another myth broken.
That's all we have for you on this episode of Weather Watch. Please be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at the addresses shown below. You can check out our website, muweatherwatch.com, to see our whole collection of episodes. On behalf of the entire cast and crew, I'm Curtis Silverwood. We'll see you next time.